Hello, I'm the blind historian and I do lots of TikToks, absolutely loads. So if you get a chance, pop over and watch me on TikTok. There's over 300 there for you to look at. But I also do some on YouTube and they tend to be a bit longer. So this is one of those. And it's a question for you and I'd be really keen on hearing what you think. Now the question that I've got for you is, who is the best or the greatest monarch of the United Kingdom or England? Now, I'm not including Scotland and I'm not including Wales, just because I don't really know enough about them. But if you want, I'd be more than happy to hear your recommendations for the most magnificent King of Scotland or King of Wales. I can only really go on what I know about and who I think would be the best, and possibly who I don't think are very good at all. And I'm going to start off with one I think that is not really that good, but seems to win all the prizes. And that's Queen Elizabeth. Now, if I'm going to talk about the best or the greatest, I've got to have some sort of criteria. So the criteria I would like them to have somebody to reign after them. So they have their succession sewn up. I'd like them to have some money. I want them to be able to have actually left some money in the coffers so that people don't have to raise taxation. And I'd really like them to be popular, not only with us today, but people in their own time. So on those criteria, what have we got for Elizabeth? Now, she was queen for 45 years, which is pretty good. However, all the coffers were empty when she left. She spent it all. And in fact, in her last 10 years or so, there'd been like really weak harvests, there'd been wars, and she'd spent the money. Not only that, but the people were getting a bit fed up with her. She was spending a lot of money and didn't look anywhere as good as she was before, and made some very strange decisions. And thirdly, there was no succession. She wouldn't even admit she wanted somebody to succeed. That's not a good look, is it, really? So I'm not sure she's the best. Another one that gets put forward is Victoria. Now, I have to be honest, I think she's put forward because she's a girl. And things were a little bit good in her day, weren't they? So we were the British Empire. But a lot of the things we did during the British Empire were not so good. Okay, we're great at the time, but we're still living them down today. And she did manage the succession. But the problem was she married her family off to everybody in Europe. And that caused the Cousins' War, or what we call the First World War. But she did leave some money. So I'm a little bit ambivalent when it comes to Victoria. So who else could we have? Now, we could go early, couldn't we? We could talk about Edward the Confessor. Now, Edward the Confessor died quite early. So he died in 1066. But he's called the Confessor because he was very pious and saintly. And he did actually set up who would come into the throne after him. And that was William the Conqueror. Although Harold didn't agree with him. And he did leave money. So that was quite good. And everybody loved him. So that's okay. But he did set up his country ready for invasion. Not sure about him. So how about Edward I? Edward I, Hammer of the Scots, destroyed the Welsh, absolutely took over our country. Maybe it could be him. Battled the Scottish, battled the Welsh and won. Maybe it could be him. Didn't leave a lot of money though, because he'd spent it all on wars. So I suppose what we've got left, Henry V. Henry V did really well. The problem was he died too young. So he did well in France, but his son died. So he was only 9 months old when he came to the throne. And if any of you know about Henry VI, he wasn't very good. Bit of a shame really, because his father was. And would he have been as good if it hadn't been for Shakespeare? I'm not sure. Personally, I'm going to go for Henry II. Henry II left a load of heirs. He left the country completely together under him. Bit of battle going on while he was king. He died in France, which wasn't the best.